Drums are one of the most important elements of a beat. It controls the rhythm, the space between the melody, and the tone of the track. Drums are everything. And I'm probably biased because I used to play the drums. I still consider myself a drummer, all right? But look, if you take the art of adding drums to your beat and songs lightly, or you just don't know how to place the drums on your beats to enhance your music, your beats and songs will most likely suffer and not achieve their full potential. If you're looking to improve your drum skills or your hip-hop beats, you're in the right place at the right time, watching the right podcast. You're where you need to be at, all right? Today, we'll share 3 gems, 3 simple gems that will help you elevate your beats, enhance your beats when laying your drum tracks. P.L. Beers, you know what time it is. Let's grow, baby. Welcome to another episode of Platinum Lyrics and Beats. I'm your host, Trey Boy. Look, let's jump straight into it. Tips to adding drums to your hip-hop beats, all right? First thing we want to do is focus on our groove and rhythm. Focus on the groove and the rhythm of the track. Now, when I first start making my beats, I start with the melody, then I may jump over to the bass and the keys and so on. I come back later with the drum tracks and the percussion tracks later, okay? Why is this? Because I want my drums to fill in with the rest of the elements of the melodies and everything I put on the track, okay? I want the drums to be the icing on the cake and part of the cake mixture, if that makes sense. I sprinkle drums and percussions all around my beats and songs because hip-hop drums rely heavily on the groove and rhythm to drive the track forward. Okay, when we're adding our drums, we need to pay close attention to the groove of the melody. If it's a slower beat, use snares or claps that fit the vibe of the track. Sometimes slower tempos require softer drums. Okay, it just makes sense. You don't want to hear a soft beat, with hard drums. I mean, unless it makes sense. But most of the time, with a slower tempo type track, it's gonna require softer drums. You're gonna use softer drums. Mid to fast tempo type tracks can handle more aggressive drums. Another thing we want to focus on is the rhythm of the beat, and when it comes to adding drums, we want to ensure our drum patterns complement the rhythm of the other elements in the track, such as the bass line, the melody samples, the strings if you have any. Experimenting with different patterns, including variations in kicks, snare drums, hi-hat placements, finding the groove that best fits the vibe of your beat is key, all right? That's where we want to be. We have to find the right vibe for our drums. For some producers, we can find the right drum samples really fast. So we can make the drum tracks, we can lay them down with no problem real quickly, right? For some of us, it takes a little bit more time. And to be honest with you, sometimes I struggle with the sound of the drums or finding the perfect drums that I want to put on that track, right? It may sound good, but you're always looking for that perfect snare, all right? You're looking for that perfect hi-hat. You want that kick to stand out, okay? We can find all kind of drum samples, but to really fit with the track that you're making, that's what you're looking for, all right? Some producers add a little EQ and a little swing to give the sound of the drums a significant difference to the overall feel and mix and the groove of the track or the beat. And then some producers, we just use the drums straight up, all right, with no plugins at all, just raw, all right? And it'll sound good, whatever sounds good to you. You have to find that groove in the track. It all depends on your taste and style of the beat that you're producing, all right? The bottom line, the drums influence the groove and the rhythm of every beat. So be wise, be smart, use your soul when you land your drum tracks, all right? Yo, we'll get back to the episode in just a few minutes, but I want to give you a free gift for rocking with me today, all right? Are you tired of your beats sitting on your hard drive collecting dust? Are you struggling to make money from all the hard work, time, and effort you put into making dope music? If the answer is yes, this is the perfect time to build a profitable email list to market, promote, and sell your beats, songs, or products if you have any. All right, just go to buildlistsellbeats.com. buildlistsellbeats.com and download the email marketing tools for music producers checklist for free. That's right, I'm giving this game for free. You'll get access to the game-changing list of tools and resources that enable me to gain a lucrative email list with supportive listeners and music lovers ready to make a purchase. All right, email marketing is here to stay. Check the data. 347 billion emails were sent and received per day in 2023. All right, and it's going to just increase from there. And for music producers, artists, songwriters like ourselves looking to grow and build their fan base, supporters, and bank account, may I add, all right, building an email list is the most rewarding thing you can do. Take advantage of the potential profits you can make on your musical journey by downloading the proven, neatly, well-crafted, laid-out checklist today, all right? Go to buildlistsellbeats.com and download the checklist today and turn your passion for creating music into money in your bank account. The link's in the description. Back to the episode. Let's go. Here we go. Number 2, tips to adding drums to your hip-hop beats. Layering and texturing your drums, okay? Let's start off with layering your drums. Layering your drums simply means to add drum samples on top of other drum samples, okay? For example, adding a clap with a snare or adding the same drum sample like a snare or something like that and pitch it high on one track and then pitch it low on another track. And then if you want to, if it sounds good, you can leave it the same. Leave it right in the middle. Don't pitch it at all and have the same drum sample or the same snare sample with 3 different tracks. I'm telling you, it works. It works. It would help everything to stand out. And on top of that, you can add your shakers, your tambourine to add a more complex sound to it. All right? And this adds more interest to your drum patterns. This technique will give your beats a unique sound. Straight up, layering your drum samples will add more depth, impact, and character to your hip-hop beats, all right? Instead of just relying solely on single drum samples like a boring sounding snare, all right? Like I just mentioned before, pitch it, all right? Or try layering multiple samples on top of that snare, like a tambourine. You know, have it click at the same time. Have it layering on top of that snare, all right? Thank me later. This is gonna elevate your beats when you start layering your drums, okay? I'll give you another example of what you can layer. You can even layer a punchy kick drum with a softer, more textured kick drum sample, all right? This will result in a more fuller sound, a more balanced lower end, all right? You take that kick drum, your original kick drum, and you can leave it the same, all right? Whatever sounds good to you. Get you a punchy kick drum. But then you get you a more softer hitting kick drum with a lower end, okay? And layer that on top of that, man, your beats are going to stand out just by layering your drums, okay? It's going to stand out. Then after you layer your drums, you can sprinkle a little texture on top of what you already created, all right? You can use effect plugins to make this sample stand out even more, all right, with your drums. A plugin I use a lot, it's been out for a while, but it's still dope, is the Drip plugin. Drip is a great plugin. I still use it to this day. At the click of one button, you can add any kind of texture you want, depending on the beat that you're making, all right? I still use Drip. Check it out. Here's a picture of it. You can check it out yourself, all right? Music production is supposed to be exciting. Layering and adding texture to your drums is what can make it more exciting for you and the listeners, the people listening to your music. This is supposed to be fun. Let's have fun with it. It's not supposed to be boring at all. Ever catch yourself with beats constantly playing in your head? Do you use pots and pans or maybe even your school desk as an imaginary drum machine? Look, I've been there, seeking an outlet for all of that creative energy. That's why I dove into the world of music production. and it transformed my creative space entirely. If you're itching to explore the world of music production, look, I got you covered. I created a free video, The Beginner's Guide for Music Producers. All right? I'm covering the essential equipment for producers, guiding you through crafting a dope beat from scratch and shedding light on the exciting career paths awaiting skilled music producers ready to make money from doing what they love. All right? Ready to dive into this amazing musical journey? Head over to AspireProducersLab.com today and let's unwrap the gift of music production together. Your creative adventure starts now at AspireProducersLab.com. Back to the episode. All right, here we go. Number 3, tips for adding drums to your hip-hop beats. Add fills, triple rolls, and transitions. All right, now this is really important because it bugs me to listen to a loop over and over again and there's no transitions, but we'll get into it, all right? Adding drum fills, drum rolls, and drum transitions into the intro, mid-verse, or even the end of a verse, and the beginning of the hook can do wonders for your beat. Let the listeners know there's more to the beat than just using the static, repetitive drum loops. Let the listener know, look, I put in work on this beat, all right? Nothing wrong with using drum loops. There's nothing wrong with using drum loops, but let's add a little sauce to the beat using drum fills and rolls and transitions, all right? Even breakdowns in the middle of the beat or at the beginning of the second verse, all right? This is big in hip-hop. Just break down the beat at the beginning of the second verse to let them know, okay, we're going somewhere different with this beat, all right? And adding transitions between sections to create tension and release in your beats. All of this works. All of this works. By introducing variations and dynamics in your drum tracks, you can create beats that feel organic, evolving, and exciting to listen to. I promise you, this will keep the listeners' interest and keep them on the edge of their seats wondering what's coming next in your beats. So, when adding drums to hip-hop beats, focus on the groove and rhythm. Make sure it feels good to you. Make sure the drums sit in well with the melody and everything is flowing right. Then we want to experiment with layering and texturing for our depth and character to create our own unique sound in our beats. Pitch those same snares. All right, pitch them to different levels. Same thing with your kicks. It's going to stand out even more. And lastly, let's add fills, drum rolls, and transitions to keep our beats engaging and dynamic. All right? With careful attention to these different tips I just shared with you, you can create hip-hop beats that stand out and captivate your listeners. It will work if you work it, okay? Aspiring music producers, fellow music producers, thank you for hanging out with Trey Boy today. Thank you for supporting PLB. Subscribe so you can watch more hip-hop videos like this every week. Remember, produce with a purpose. Let's get that work. This Trey Boy, I'm out. Peace.